Alright. 20. Wait, I don't need this. 20 minutes. And then, Yo, what's going on F in the chat? 1, 2. I'm nearly done with this. Nearly done. Okay, let me turn this off. The playback. Nearly done. Man, I just finished uploading, well, scheduling 70 pieces of content for next week on Facebook specifically. And goodness gracious, I think I can keep doing stuff like that for another 10 days. No, another 10 weeks, I mean. Nearly done. Sorry, I didn't see the stream till now. Oh, yeah, I'm nearly done with the this part. This segment. I think I'm gonna do Chimera Island next, just because of how quick it is. Like, I don't have to focus on making everything as is or whatever, or I can just focus on contours. Chimera Island is more contour focused, I guess. But yeah, oh my gosh, oh my goodness. But yeah, I just finished uploading 70 pieces of content for next week on Facebook. Like, I am dead serious about getting monetized there. Also, I just reminded myself that the reason why I didn't focus on Facebook like years ago was because they had a content monetization strategy very similar to YouTube. I don't think it was as bad as YouTube, but it was as unattainable, personally. Because I needed, what, 10,000 followers and 3,000 like 10,000 followers and like 5,000 watch hours on videos in order to be monetized, like, years ago. That was like the last time I checked Facebook. Like, that was years ago. And when I was reminded of that, I was like, oh yeah. It's probably just, I think now it's just easier. They just made it a lot easier for people to be monetized. They say, like, all they're looking for right now is consistency and engagement. That's what I see. So, like, if people can engage with your content and you're consistent in uploading it, it's pretty good. You have a good chance of getting monetized. However, Elamai AG4, it's still an invite only thing. They made their thing more open. Well, they made their requirements more closed, actually. Or Facebook? Yeah, on Facebook. The requirements are more closed. So you don't know. Like, it's not like on YouTube now anymore. they'll just send you a notification if you're in. The word you we're looking for is endogam endogamic. That's the first time I saw that. Did you start posting on Facebook? Yeah. Endogamy, the cultural practice of marrying within a single social group, religion, denomination, caste, ethnic group, rejecting any outside group. I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I started posting on Facebook. I have a lot of content on Facebook now, but I just finished uh, scheduling 70 pieces of content for next week. I think I finally have a flow of what I'm going to upload because from years ago I made speed painting content for working on specific panels, and I what I did was to make that content. I would take one of these whatchamacallit. Uh, I would take a playback from when I was working on the a previous comic. Then I would speed it up up to like for 10 seconds or something like that, or 8 seconds. And that would show the final panel for the last 2 seconds. And I would just like mass produce stuff like that to the point where I have like around 70 or 50 videos ready to have a ready to have a ready to be posted. You know. Now I'm going back to using that again. Let's see what happens about a year from now. Yeah, I hear a lot of people say that the best thing you can do on YouTube is be consistent. That's the first thing. The second thing is try to find out what content works because it's different for everybody. So right now, I'm waiting out to the three. I'm waiting out the month, so the Facebook algorithm can find out who is interested in my content. And after that month, we'll see how it goes. During that month, I'll be posting like a madman. I'll even make clips of my Let's Plays and just put it on my personal Facebook page and see where that goes. I mean, Comic Can started posting daily 4 months ago, and his channel started catching serious steam. Yeah. Every algorithm it works differently. And the reason why I'm on Facebook is because of the wider variety of ways that a person can monetize their content. Like YouTube is just not good for me. The only reason why I'm still on YouTube is A, you guys are here, and B, the Google Gemini is a very helpful tool. I won't say that's the only reason, but like Google Gemini is a very helpful tool. When it comes to finding clips that won't get me banned when I repost them. You're just finding clips of me talking about whatever. Alright. Let's see. Actually, let me reuse this. Yeah, shout out to Ken. Posting daily. That is insane. I mean, I just got off of watching a Emperor Lemon video, talking about how YouTube is just not. It's becoming less and less worth it. Because of the quality of content that is promoted now, compared to of yesteryear, like 10 years ago. I remember one of his contentions were those YouTube videos that were about that's made to be background noise. That's made to be background noise, like facts about X, Y, and Z to fall asleep to. And how it's demoralizing to be rewarded on a video that doesn't take as much effort to produce. Well, to be rewarded the same for a video that doesn't take as long to produce as a video that's just can be made easily. Wait, yeah, that takes a lot longer to produce. It's unfortunate. Hey, Lewis, what's going on? G4 says, I'm not a big fan of it used to be better before videos. It just seems like nostalgia gooning to me. No. I have to hard disagree. If you don't, yeah, I have to hard disagree. If you haven't noticed a decline in quality, or standards at the very least, I wouldn't even say standards, just the quality of content, then you're not really paying attention, or you haven't been on the internet for long enough. Because the decline is pretty much baked into the content, and it really goes down. It really bakes down to the incentives that the platform gives its creators to try less. Lewis says, "How large is this indie manga space? I mean, will it prove hard to reach a percentage of an audience that's already small?" What do you mean by that? Are you talking about the audience of the indie manga space? Yeah, okay. I mean, I mean, the thing, yeah, I think a lot of us, a small us, lol, are fans of the process of making manga. Well, I stream not really to. Hmm, well, the yeah, the most the I stream because of it's a form of documenting, and when you document, it's more content for you to repurpose to get more views on what views on your work. So this isn't the end goal. I'm making these. I'm live streaming because I can document. I can like repurpose a lot of the process a lot of this process. Sorry, my mind is fogged up today. I can't spill a cohesive sentence. Maybe I gotta talk a little slower. G4 says, I mean, if we are taking talking strictly YouTube, I think the standards of the content has increased, but maybe my algorithm just recommend me better videos than it does for you. Sorry for making you stream longer, teehee. Are you talking like what shows up on your YouTube algorithm, G4? Because that's like a really huge sign that you haven't been on the internet long enough to say that thing that just because things are have higher production, meaning things are better. The forest shortening in this current panel is fire, by the way. Thank you. Thank you. Like I Hey Robert, what's going on? Welcome to oh hey cool default profile pic. Helpful art tutorials, Matt comics history videos, stock market news, Blender tutorials, new anime news, devlogs. Your art is good. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it. New anime news. Yeah, that stuff looks exceptionally niche. When people on the internet say that, I guess a good way to show where the culture of the internet came was at was ironically enough looking at in the looking at in the over I'm trying to find the right term for it. It's like on the tip of the iceberg. You can look at YouTube Rewind. How back when everything was more of the internet had more of a culture, a monoculture on YouTube specifically, right? And I know in 2016 there are some things that YouTube wouldn't let fly, like the drama, because drama 10 years ago was just a big aspect of the culture at the time. One third politics, one third music, OSTs, third one third production tutorials and streamers. Yeah, It really depends. Old YouTube had a lot of people using the platform as a hobby, share information, or as a way to show off passion projects. Monetizing stuff was frowned upon. Yeah, and I think that aspect really shows a direction of what people were comfortable making. And being exceptionally polished is very different from it being um, good or having soul, is what people say. And soul is such a weird term where it's you either know it or you don't. So like you would see, I would say Matt with a lot of T's, for example, like his stuff would fit right in on TV. It would fit right in on like if you put it on Netflix or whatever, that documentary style. And if you take that and compare it to, I don't know, something, man, I'm trying, my mind is blanking. What would be, I don't know if anybody on old YouTube would do video essays like that, because I feel like video essays are fairly new in the entire space of the internet, on YouTube, where people would just sit down and talk about a single topic, or just go into like the deep dive of a history of it. Unless you were a history channel, if that was what something that you would really like to do. And plus, tutorials were a thing that's always been around. Like, yeah, tutorial. Like, there's. I don't know. You talk about like bad tutorials. Good tutorials were a thing that's always been around. Um, stock market news. You watch stock market news? And Blender tutorial. I think you can go on the internet for that, for stock market news, huh? And people have always been talking. I feel like people's been talking about new anime forever, and devlogs, and documenting things on the internet forever. Like on my recommended, I have plenty of videos with no editing and just doom posting like that guy. Wait, with just doom posting on that guy, Jet Franzen. Yeah, you just gotta be a pretty boy and just say sad things, and people will just, oh yeah, you said something else. That was a lot. Let me just go back. Old YouTube was fake and corny to me, and also people acting like you have to be top tier video editor to blow up on YouTube is so disingenuous. Like on YouTube, I have plenty of videos. What about old YouTube was fake and corny? Like on my new recommended, I have plenty of videos with no editing and just doom posting like that guy Jet Franzen. Okay. Lewis says, "Do you remember during the DVD era they had the director's commentary? Maybe a read along of the earlier chapters by you, the author, could drum up interest for readership. Maybe even bring a guest too, if possible." Oh yeah, I remember I did that with Matt with the first chapter of Just a Reaper. Um, no, I did that a couple of times. I feel like I did that with the first couple of pages of Purgatory Academy. I just don't have the patience for that stuff like that, unfortunately. Like I don't think it's a bad idea. I just don't have the patience for it. How though that uh, people did whatever back then, like Double the Rainbow guy who blew up. It was just a guy who was freaking out over two rainbows. Oh yeah, and the if you want to talk about the old internet, memes lasted a whole lot longer. it was like it was such a novel thing that people there wasn't a concept of cringe, a cringe meme. Well, the concept of cringe was still there because furries were always a punching bag. I'll always remember that. And emo, well, being emo was all a furry and being emo was like a like punching bag thing, like ideas. Emo less so. Um, it was still there, but like you had a lot of edgy media around that era, like Sonic with like Shadow the Hedgehog and Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. Also Nyan Cat and Pop Tart Cat GIF and Grumpy Cat. And just if you just go on Animeme, like just go like 10 years ago on Animeme, like you would see what was sort of, oh yeah, and Slender Man and yeah, stuff like that. And Pedo Bear. The amount of parasocial relationship people have with YouTubers due to people not realizing yet that they were the new celebrities. Yeah, and how the monoculture ish the space was, and if you were not part of the main culture, you would have be excommunicated. I do remember. I do remember Shane Dawson. Even though he was a pretty big YouTuber guy, all he really wanted to do was make it into movies, mainstream movies. But he was too much of a he was so egocentric that he couldn't really do that. He couldn't make it work. Let's see. Now everything is monetized, so you have people constantly churning videos. The production value increase, but creator run after trends. We've watched book. I've watched reviewers who said they won't review books unless they really like it because it won't get views. Yeah. Also, also, it just feels like G4 saying the like videos having better production value. Uh, if videos having better production value means that they're good videos, then Mr. Beast would just make the best videos on the internet. Then you would have to hands down agree that Mr. Beast there's nobody who makes YouTube better YouTube videos on the platform than Mr. Beast. Then you have to concede that uh, the best content on YouTube are nursery rhymes for toddlers because those are the videos that make the most money that makes the most viewership on YouTube that draws in most of the the traffic. Bro, you just literally misrepresented my point. Let me go back. The standard of content has increased, but maybe strictly YouTube. I think this content standard of content has increased. So you just said your standard were helpful art tutorials, which were always been a thing. Niche history videos, which were always been a thing. Stock market news, but that's something I've been out of. Blender tutorials, which were always been a thing. Anime, new anime news, which that's something out of my wheelhouse, and devlogs, which are also out of my wheelhouse. That's why social media is now being referred to as internet media, interest media. That sounds familiar. That sounds familiar, but I don't think I've heard people referred to. I don't think I've heard people refer to internet, social media as interest media, but it makes sense, I suppose. It's a give and take. Like some newer videos and miss some older ones. I like some newer videos and let's agree to disagree. Okay. All right. All right. I'm trying to think about if there's anything I absolutely like adore watching on YouTube because I remember like I know I was a kid, but I used to be excited for like a new Nostalgia Critic video. And I would be there were like YouTubers that I would just constantly wait for their uploads. Like I used to like a Rebel Taxi in Nostalgia Critic. A lot of like reviewers of cartoons and movies and stuff like that. A little bit of Angry Joe here and there. I don't think they've gotten worse. I just grown out of it. I think that's completely reasonable. Like now, I just don't. I'm not even looking interested. I'm not even interested in like other people's opinions on media. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out why. I'm trying to, man, I just haven't. Like, I don't know why. I think usually I don't look for other people's opinions because my baseline thought is I don't need like I'll form my own opinion on an idea. But now I kind of went back to listening to reviews only after I have what was it? Only after I've watched a certain media just to see if I missed anything. Lamai says, I used to like watching uh, Rept Supria, AMVs, funny Naruto fan animations, Film Cow is still around. I mean, I haven't seen a film cow video in a while. Yo, AMVs have been absolutely cracked. As of I think AMVs have been a genre of videos on the internet that has been so that's just been that's been cracked. Like some of these editors would make the best bumpers for channels, for TV channels, if TV just wasn't dead. You know what I mean? We spoke about documenting for the purpose of repurposing. How about brainstorming the process of creating? Even as you draw a new chapter, you can reference the thoughts that lead to your decisions. Just a way to have a different context or themes in your shorter repurposed reels. The brainstorming process of creating. Even as you draw a chapter, you can reference the thoughts. My mind is not connecting with that idea. I'm not looking for new content ideas. I'm sorry, Lewis. I'm not looking for new content ideas at the moment. I'm just I'm just sure that YouTube just doesn't work. YouTube just doesn't work out for me. It's over. It's legit over. Monetizing on this site with what I'm doing is just not an option. It's not happening. It's just not happening. If I want it's just I'm fine with that. I'm kind of fine with that. If God if with God's grace I have ever become successful, YouTube will be the only internet site other than my own website that I will use actively. I just love how impersonal it is compared to IG, X, or TikTok. Impersonal? YouTube? Instagram and X and TikTok are personal platforms? Well, I wouldn't know because I'm not really personal on anything. Well, I try not to be. Low budget animations is harder to find on YouTube, but I can always go to Newgrounds. Yeah, that's kind of the place for it. That's another. Yeah, yeah. Like I know I said agree to disagree, but the policy, yeah, it's just the like a lot of YouTube policies enforces the type of content that we have today. Yeah. Oh, speaking of anime edits, I've been enjoying bonus pack anime retells, retellings. They're so funny. The content stuff I meant for the Facebook stuff, but so yeah, it's cool, bro. Yeah, you don't have DM features or stories. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I think YouTube is rolling out the DM feature. I think you can start soon. Maybe they'll abandon it, but maybe soon you can start DMing your favorite creators. Which I don't know how they'll. I don't know. I have no idea how YouTube will balance that out. Balance out the freaks, the absolute freaks on this platform. But no, YouTube is pretty chill, I think. Honestly, the closest thing to DMs on YouTube is just contacting people's emails, and my emails is like the worst way. It's like the worst thing, worst way that people can contact me because I'm too lazy to put away all the spam, so it all just piles up. That's good. Yeah. But you know, you had the comment section already. Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess it would be easier to collaborate with other creators. I know. Speaking of collaborations, I know that YouTube has that feature where it gives you several YouTube channels if they collaborated. Like if it like on Newgrounds. Like that's not a new feature, but it's pretty funny. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Oh man, but let's see. Oh, for the Facebook. Yeah. I think with Facebook, I already have like 10 pieces of content like all lined up. And just by looking at how other people post or how they interact on the platform, I think I have a good idea what to make. And besides, I'm posting just so I can just so I can get a feel of who would actually be interested in the content. But yeah, it's the plan. It is the plan. YouTube, get viewers, website, showcase my works, some for free, newsletter, keep them engaged outside of social media app control. Yeah. Showcase my work. Yeah. Like I keep going back and forth with the idea with what I want to do with my newsletter because it makes sense for me to continuously promote the newsletter, but I don't know which comes. But I'm thinking about which comes first, the newsletter or the blog. But I guess the blog should pretty much be. Hmm. Yeah, the newsletter or the blog. I just keep going back and forth with that. Plan B: win the lottery and pay for ads. I mean, I saw a plan. I saw a strategy that someone had, which was very interesting. It was when you when you gain monetization, use like a percentage of that monetization for ads, so it will just keep piling up. So you'll see, like you're just reinvesting into uh, the growth of your channel or your page. I don't know if YouTube is like that, but I'm not even getting any money off of YouTube. But it might be helpful if I heavily tell Google who would like my content the most. But who knows? Who knows? just have like a follower campaign. But no, that's more of a Facebook strategy than a YouTube one. Let's see. Let me do this. Let me see. Da, 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 da. The shading. What do you think about lurk? Yeah. What do you think about lurkers? I mean, I would prefer people to be active in chat. I prefer because it'd be nice. It would be nice that I would have enough people in the live stream to signal to YouTube that I have that I signal to YouTube that people are willing to watch. Unfortunately, unfortunately, um, I'm still under 1,000 hours required. I'm still under like the 1,000 hours of the 3,000 hours required to be monetized. Exterminate all lurkers. If they're useful, then I don't care. But I might as well act as if they're not there. Like if lurkers are just trying to use me as background noise, that's cool. But not everybody can use me as a podcast for something else. You got to contribute. There's got to be enough contributors in the chats in order for the lurkers to thrive. You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, this is cool. Mason, inside his head, F the lurkers, you serve me no purpose. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I do have more than 3,000 hours, but not 500 subs. Peon. How does one obtain 3,000 watch out? Well, yeah, of course I know. Making good YouTube videos. Um, I know for a fact. Comet Ken probably has his 3,000 watch hours. That's just something I'm just unable to do. It's just I guess it's just not in my DNA. Unfortunately. Or maybe I need to start what's the phrase? Maybe if I can re-upload clips on YouTube, not on the shorts, but on main YouTube. Now that I have a face cam, maybe that'll be worlds apart. They'll show the difference of what a good webcam can do. Maybe YouTube is just not the platform for you. I think that's what it is. I genuinely think that's what it is. Like like you, I like YouTube. Not really the like being on the platform itself. I just like the personalities on YouTube. That's what makes it interesting to me. Dude, I have my freaking watch. Dude, it's crazy when I look back at my watch later, and it feels like a slog to go back to just watch a single video. Like I look at my watch later, and I'm thinking, do I really want to look at this? Let me check my watch. Oh my gosh. Yeah, my freaking my recommended on YouTube is politics, culture war, uh, Comic Ken. Uh, what is this? Oh, it's an auto dub of somebody repairing a PS2. General gaming. General gaming is dying video number 567. General like Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne videos, and I haven't even played the game yet. Doomer, the PC RAM crash, like PC market crash. Meet the next generation of New York City skateboarding. That's new. I'd probably watch that. Yeah. Rise and Fall of Umbrella Academy. I mean, it's not really the fault of YouTube because the algorithm is just predicting what I like. Which is. Wait, which is what? Why is your YouTube recommendation so depressing? Are you attracted to that type of vibe no matter what you feel you say it? No wonder you feel the way that way about YouTube. Like what are some things? What are some videos that I should look at on YouTube? Let me check. Let me check my watch later. Mike Mignola drawing monster, a documentary of Mike Mignola. I haven't even read a book of Hellboy. History. Let's see. False gods in the Bible. Nephilim fractals from Jonathan Pergio. Tutorial videos. History videos. Wow. Yeah, what are some things I should watch on YouTube? I don't think YouTube is depressing, like at all, but I don't know. I really don't know. I just look at the bigger picture of a lot of things, and it just doesn't interest me, including the TV shows. I mean, one thing that I played recently that I like, uh, that's new, is Lego Batman. And what I like about it a lot is that just another. It's literally just another Arkham game. Most of my fees art and crafts, cute birds, cooking, and indie works. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Seriously, you started Lego Batman? Dope. Why? Why do not do a gameplay on Steam? Because because I Parasec. It's I play it through Parsec, online couch co-op with a friend, and we usually play it at night because he's off work, and that would be and streaming it would be a little might be annoying because he has his nephew. He has his nephew. He's like I don't know how old he is. He's like young, at that age where you talk a lot. So it's going so that won't be fun for the audience. I can tell you that. I think around 2 or 4 because I think kids talk a lot around that age. Some drama, a little bit of drama, but not too much. Dude, I try to watch a little bit of drama videos, but I end up not caring. I think it's because of everybody involved in drama are people that I do not care about. And even if I want to put my ear to the ground just to be hip and see what people are talking about, I just don't care anymore. It's like this has nothing to do with my life. I think that era of caring about drama or just listening to it is gone. I think mostly because I don't have a network of people to converse uh, a certain like a shared topic with. So I'm not really keeping up with what's happening in music or TV or movies because I don't watch a lot of modern movies because I don't have a lot of people to converse with. I don't listen to a lot of. I think the last album that I've listened to was the Vince Staple album, "Crybaby." I thought it was good. I really like Vince Staples. You know what's so funny? You know what's so funny? I like I if I had a I was thinking I think every time I listen to a Vince Staples album, the more I think about Travis, like this character right here. I wouldn't have Vince Staples' voice if I had the power. I don't think I would have Vince Staples' voice Travis, but I would make it canonical. I would make it canon that Vince Staples would probably one of Travis's idols. It's like that. I feel like if you watch drama after 22 years old, you're a loser and don't know it yet. Like, why care about people monetizing their argument? The only social benefit is having a small talk content. I think it's because people yearn for conflict. The reason why not content, drama does so well is because it speaks to a very primitive part of our brain of sharing information of who to associate with and who not to. And I think when you become like like when uh you have to leave that primitive urge to gossip about people and mind your own business, for the lack of a better term. Like everybody's told to mind their own business, but it's easy to fall into drama and conflict. 'Cause that's what the people want. That's what craves them. It's provocative. It gets the people going. Yeah, but the last drama that I saw was, I think the last drama video that I saw was what was going on with Gideon, and the only thing that I know about that is, is did he convert to Christianity and deleted all of his videos? To this day, I don't think I've seen like more than two Gideon videos. Yeah, like if someone got outed as a pedo, if so, yeah, like the pedophile allegations have gone so tiring. Like just putting that on like literally everybody. Like it's so it's such a waste of time, of everybody's time and energy. But hey, people have loads of time and energy to waste, so that's why they do it. I have drama fatigue. My interest for it peaked after 2017 with Jake Paul and Team 10 and Logan Paul beef. I was 13 at the time. Oh wow. Yeah, I was 17 and all that happened. I think no, wait. I think after that, no. Actually, no. I don't really care about. I never really cared about Jake or Logan Paul. I think the only time. Do you watch the Escape Pod? What's that? Sounds like a podcast. I think the only time I ever heard about Jake and Logan Paul was they were on Disney Channel, and that was it. Like anytime I would hear about them, I was like, I don't. I was like, whatever. It's like, oh, the Disney guys. Good for them. Escape the Pod. No, they did an interview with Todd McFarlane. That's cool. I'll put that on watch later. Just because it's Todd McFarlane. No, I don't think I would care to watch stuff like this because it's they just talk about like current movies and interest and all this other stuff that I'm like, no, I don't care. Like, okay, maybe I'll listen to their thoughts on season 4 of Invincible. Oh, they did a Robert Kirkman thing. Save to watch later. Sure, I'll check that out. The Boys season 1 review. That's crazy. I feel like the major 70%. Like, listen, right? This movie is amazing, and it's K-pop Demon Hunters. Hmm. 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 I'm not saying K-pop Demon Hunters is a bad. It's a, I'm not gonna hate on these guys because it's fun. It's nice to like things. It's nice to like things. I only know Suicide Force bit. Yeah, there are two dude bros nerding out about comics and movies. Like when they invite. I like when they invite cartoonists. Two dude bros. What does it mean to be a dude bro? The thing that comes to my mind when I hear dude bro are people who aren't interested in comics or movies. When I think of dude bros, I think of people who are interested in sports or or gambling on sports. People who care about sports and gambling on sports. And not about comics. But yeah. Gathering social currency. Yeah. I like watching their take because they wait, I missed that one. I like watching their take because you wait, hold on, I'm reading. I like watching their take because they are the personification of average American in terms of takes. It helps me center around which is the core fan base. Hmm. Dude bros mean the average white guys. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Uh you know what's weird as time goes on, what the average person likes have been less and less of my priority, right? Because I understand the general concept of you have to know what the audience likes so you can cater to them. However, comma, comma, I already know that the average person likes what I make, so I kind of don't really need. I think the best, and I say that by with the idea of quality control, like when your quality control is when people start complaining. And ever since I've heard that, I worried a lot less when it comes to are people going to like it, because people would be I'm more interested in hearing the vocal people, anybody who is vocal about disliking it and why they would dislike what I make. If somebody likes a thing, I can just talk to them. I don't really have to I don't really have to listen to an average person's opinions on media. I can just ask them questions. I can just talk to them. They'll be more than happy to tell me what their thoughts are on certain on like what is the what's happening in the Marvel movies, or what is the new Doomsday going to be about in a typical conversation. And that's my barometer. Personally. And I think I think a lot of people. I don't know. It's so funny how I'm pretty much like I'm pretty much lost interest of being that fly on the wall to figure out, what do people like? Because I am kind of at a point where I believe that people don't know what they like. Well, they know what they like, right? It's kind of, but it's pretty. They're not. They're not too vocal about it. I feel like people know. Like, I'm trying to find the right way to say this. I think people don't. I think people they don't know what they like in the sense of they might have a preconceived notions of their ideas, but when the media that they watch is good enough in execution, they'll like the execution, but they don't really like. They can like the execution while they don't know that they don't like what the media is intentionally. I can't really put it. I can't really be verbose about it because, like I said, I am drawing, I am talking, and I am going through immense brain fog right now. You have to start hope maxing, Mason. I'll start. Listen, I will start hope maxing when. Dude, as soon as I start hope maxing, you're going to wish that I that you're gonna wish my depressed era again. I feel like if I I feel like when I as soon as I start hope maxing, I'm gonna be like, "What's up, guys? Back at you again with another Masonymous live stream." You know when the Facebook checks hit. That's that. I'm gonna start every live stream like that. What's crack-a-lack on YouTube? Oh man, when I start doing that, that's when you know the checks are. You stay depressed. Yeah. Stay depressed, bro. I was young. Yeah, yeah. As soon as I get my first $1,000 month, you know I'm gonna be so freaking annoying. Oh my gosh, yo, I know like earlier, like years ago, I was such a chipper guy. I would I would notice I would attract a lot of uh like people from the YouTube kids like not the YouTube kids, but the YouTube Shorts audience, like a lot of kids. Because I don't know, it's probably the way that I sound, or back when I was a way higher energy. Like I noticed like a lot of young people really vibe with that, and when I was like going into more of my depressed era, a lot I've been getting a lot more people. I had a lot more people say, "You look a little bit sad today," and I'm like, I'm like, I'm like, oh yeah, these kids don't know I'm a real person. No, I guess I'm too yeah. I guess I'm in unk status, certified unk status. So know your genre. Read what's popular in your genre. Only appeal to the people within that genre. Ignore everyone else. Yeah, I mean, when I get into something, I'm really into something. Like I remember when I was reading Gantz, I absolutely loved that story. I absolutely loved and hated that story. To the point that it made me want to make a series, not a series, but like a light novel. Yeah, a light novel within the same kind of idea that Gantz was doing. Because like one thing that I didn't like about Gantz is after a while it had a borderline Reddit nihilist atmosphere of saying that everything doesn't matter. It was like a borderline Reddit nihilist atmosphere. that says everything doesn't matter, your loved ones don't matter. And not in the sense of do what you want, but like if you die tomorrow, no one would care. That type of nihilist ending. With Gantz, I'm like, that's so stupid. That's so dumb. And it made me want to. It's like stuff that like that made me so hyped to want to write something again. Yeah, that ending. I remember like it's been such a while since I read that manga, but like, but I know it lit a fire under my belly. That's like I gotta make something. And when I get into that mode of creating, when I get into that mode of consuming, I get into another mode of creating. And that's usually why when I tell people, yeah, if you're gonna read Gantz, stop at chapter 300, because everything after that's gonna piss you off, like, because it did to me. I knew, like, one thing that I also love about Gantz is that how much it was just the creator. They wanted to, like, he wanted to like throw as much as he loved, like what he loved at that time within the current arc. And I don't know why, I just love that. And like, and if they can find a way to make it all work, I love that to my core, right? And I think that's why I would use on any given day, I would say I like Hunter x Hunter over Yu Yu Hakusho, because I know the mangaka wanted to do what he did with Hunter x Hunter that he couldn't do with Yu Yu Hakusho. G-Force says, Gantz was the first manga that felt like mangaka was having fun illustrating his story. Like blackface mask shooting was crazy. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh man, they saw the most Japanese looking black man. I mean, you can't really get a good look at a dude if he's like, I don't know, lighting everybody up. You know what I mean? But that like, but yeah, that concept was crazy. It's I just love stuff like that. It's not only, like I said, it's not only writing whatever you like, but incorporating whatever you like within the story to make everything make sense, to help make that idea uniquely you. Yeah, Lamai says aliens confessing why they helped the humans and what happened to the protag afterwards. Man, I can't really. I'm trying to remember that part. I'm trying to remember that part. Is that when like everybody was like meeting with the god alien at the end in that cube, in that white cube? I don't remember that much about the ending. All I know is that all I remember was my guttural feeling of this is stupid, like while reading that. Lewis says Hunter x Hunter made me want to write again. Yeah, it's that cool. You can't get a good look at a dude if he's lining everyone up. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, yeah, it kind of goes. That's just how it goes. Am I right or am I right? Like you'd be too busy trying to dodge bullets. Am I right or am I right? Oh man. And I would love to kind of. I know. Wait. I know they are still making Gantz. I don't know if they're still making Gantz E, because it's basically Gantz but in the Edo period. I don't wonder if they're still producing that, because I had a heavy Gantz phase. I even tried watching the Gantz anime. Big mistake, because the anime is like the worst paced thing that I've seen. It's insane. If there's any anime that deserves a remake, it's Gantz. But then, I mean, then again, no, actually, actually, now that I think about it, I think Gantz is kind of it's too hardcore for like the Western mind, for not for the modern mind. How far did you get into the anime? I think it was the first when they were. I think I stopped during the first Buddha fight when they were fighting like those Buddha statues. It was so horribly paced that I just decided to like drop. I decided to drop it. Now Gantz Z, E are in their samurai era. Okay. People complain about Hunter x Hunter Wall of Text. I love it personally because it's a sign how deep the world building is. I need to go back. Well, I really hate reading ongoing manga personally because I just fall off. I just fall off as soon as I'm caught up. I'm as soon as like there's another installment, I'm already doing something else to the point that I can't really go back. What series have you both read and watched in completion? The list is not long. The list is not long. I guess I can only say uh, Stone Ocean from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure because I was watching Stone Ocean. I was no, I think I was watching Stone Ocean on Netflix, but at that point they were taking too long to produce the anime, so I just read the manga. And after I read the manga, I was like, while I'm here, I might as well read Steel Ball Run because people say that's where Tagashi peaked. Not Tagashi, but Araki peaked. And yeah, that's where Araki peaked. And so I've already read all of Steel Ball Run. Which format went harder? Usually, yeah, the manga usually goes harder. I was so mixed when it came to the presentation of the anime of Stone Ocean because I there were some times that I felt like I've seen fan animations that went harder with the presentation. Like I know it's apples and oranges. When you have the fan animation, they work on like one specific thing, but in compared to like an entire production line. But I was pretty underwhelmed when it came to the presentation of Stone Ocean. I'm trying to figure out another series. I remember I was at a really heavy anime watching phase where I was watching stuff like Trigun. I was watching stuff like, of course, you had the Narutos and your Bleaches, and I unfortunately, admittedly, I didn't watch the Thousand Year Blood War arc because it was back to back fights, and I was just like tired. I was kind of tired of the back to back fight, and I was tired of the back to back fights because I'm not interested in fight scenes. I get that's why people love anime. I just don't care about it. Period. Personally, I think another anime that I liked was Zom 100. Zom 100. Not Zom. Was it Zom 100? Was that anime where that kid? Yeah, it is Zom 100. An anime that I absolutely remember loving a couple years ago, like years ago, was Japan Sinks. That was pretty cool. I love 100 Meters. That's a cool anime series. Haven't really read the manga though. Yo, you like Zama 100 too? Yeah, I like it. I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, it's a little too easy for the anime to miss the pacing, and when you culturalize it, the West, it loses some of its depth. I think that's what makes. No, I feel like that's what makes manga really cool because I would remember seeing aspects or conversations online where people said that older Pokemon was really cool because compared to the newer Pokemon. I'm talking about the TV series because in the older Pokemon, it was if you see like season one or whatever, season one, two of Pokemon, it's a very Japanese show because it has all these Japanese cultures, and they would not even imagine people in the West caring about the show. So it was so the Pokemon show was for a Japanese audience by a Japanese audience, and it was done well enough that people overseas when they saw it, they're like, oh, this is interesting. They're like, wow, this is. They're like, oh, there's like an entire world that's outside of America. So when there is an attempt to Americanize a Japanese property, it loses its It loses its identity uh, for a broad appeal. Well, with Pokemon, like the new age Pokemon, I don't think anybody has any problems with that with the new Pokemon, but now that's like outside of Japan, it's more focused on being a global thing. Yeah, Pokemon is a global IP at this point. Yeah, so now it's a global thing, and let's be real, not even Game Freak want to make Pokemon games anymore. Like, dude, man, it's really funny. At the time where there was like Pokemon spin-offs left, right, and center, and people have been loving those spin-offs more than they would love the official games, but people only. But that's another day. I gotta play Mystery Dungeon because I remember I had a friend in high school who freaking loved the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. He would swear by it, and anybody who would talk about those games, like they would fight. They would fight you for it. Just saying it's a good game. So I gotta try it out. Still, but one I think what was very interesting is there we almost had like another instance of a Japanese property being very Japanese even overseas, and that was Yokai Watch. But the localizers, I want to say the localizers, they just kind of botched it up, and it wasn't promoted as heavy, or as heavy as it should have been out here. And it's kind of crazy too, because I remember Bakugan having more of a push. I remember, dude, the Bakugan craze was so wild. I remember I wanted a set. I remember I had a neighbor. He was like my age. He was homeschooled. He wouldn't even sell me his Bakugan. He had a full Bakugan kit, like some of the cards and like the little marble things that you throw on top of the cards. And he was selling it for $50, and I was like, "Yo, I will freaking pay for that." And he was like, "No, we're not. I'm not giving it to you. I'm not. I'm not." I know he had it, and he was willing to sell it because his dad had a side hustle of buying toys and selling them on eBay for a profit. Like in the My Hero Academia manga, All Might skinny form is revealed to the world, and Endeavor sees him skinny, and the manga says, "What's wrong with your back?" This was meaningful because he's been behind. Okay. Right. A Braga flop. So, flop their hype so hard. Him this whole time. Lol. But in English, the anime says, "You can do it, All Might." Oh yeah, like also the Japanese language is so. I think language in of itself is so interesting because of double meanings, and there are. And I think in America, like in English, things can have double meanings, and but in Japan, it's the same thing as in Japan, where like one word just has several different meanings depending on the context. That doesn't translate. That doesn't translate well if you want to say it in English. I remember there was a another instance where that reminded me of was in JJK season 2, where the antagonist was just wrecking everything, was just using the protagonist's like demonic powers to just ruin everything, like all of Shibuya, and the protagonist was like saying, enough. I think he said something that had several meanings, but in English he just said that's enough. And I remember there was an uproar of translation of people who spoke Japanese saying like, well, they could have said X, Y, and Z instead of saying enough to make the point across. And other people saying, well, no, that definition's fine because that's what it means. But in reality, language is very interesting. In Japanese, like in Japanese, you can say one word, but it can mean several different things depending on the context. So I think that's like one of the weird quirks about like just uh, localizing a story or a dialogue specifically. That's always been such an interesting thing to me, because I think one of my life's goals is to see if one of my stories will deeply connect with somebody with a culture that I have no connection with, right? Like if somebody from Germany or like South Africa, or like a culture that I have never a culture that I have can't really tell heads or tails of, saying like, oh yeah, this is really cool, you know, like that's always been like a light fascination of mine. I still watch old animes for Yu-Gi-Oh, GX, and 5Ds. I have not gone into Yu-Gi-Oh, like that. Like I grew up with that being shown on TV. I grew up around people who liked playing the Yu-Gi-Oh games, but I just haven't gotten the the vibe. I just don't get it. Yu-Gi-Oh just haven't clicked for me. Yeah, Americans say don't kick a dog while he's down. Means something different to us than how you would translate to a non-American culture. Man, what are some idioms that people? Yeah, I'm pretty sure people still use idioms today, and they still don't even know it. Don't beat a dead horse. Yeah, yeah, stuff like that. Fish out of water. Which I'm pretty sure if you say that in other languages, it would make uh, uh, mm, mm, yeah, I guess, I guess. I was thinking, I'm pretty sure it makes sense, even if you translate it directly. Where if someone who don't speak the language, they would think, yeah, of course, I guess. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't beat a dead horse. What's the point of that? Bite the bullet. Like every time I think about idioms or just very old timey speak, I think about Butch Hartman cartoons, like Fairly Odd Parents specifically, because he has a very specific sense of humor or interests when it comes to that show. That show just feels like it was actually like when you pay attention to the characters in Fairly Odd Parents, it's like that show feels like it was set in the 50s, but with like 2000s technology. Big leg. I've seen an anime that was saying that's cap. I was like, no way a Jap wrote that. Yeah, like no. Well, when it comes to American slang, I don't know, cause sometimes you would have Japanese people that's like very interested in American culture. In French, it translates to "casse toi, toi, toi la jambe." Can't even pronounce that. It will make no sense to a Frenchman. Casse toi. There's no. It's not I O. Toi la jambe. Okay. Oh yeah. Canadians speak French, of course. I, I forget sometimes. Cat, Cassie Towa La Jumbo. LMAO, your accent. Cassie Twai Twai La Jumbo. Yeah. I can't even speak. I can't even speak American. Idiom culture. Many of them lost its context, but we still know its meaning. Yeah. Yeah. Gotta love your dead horses. Being able to speak multiple languages is a blessing. Yeah. Yeah. I ain't gonna argue with that. I'm a red blooded American. One language here. Well, that's gonna change. That's changing. That's changing. That's changing. A lot of people out here. I know, like, there's more signs. Well, yeah. Ba- Spanish is coming for you. Yeah, Spanish has been a de facto second language just because, honestly, just because we have a lot of immigrants coming here that refuses to speak that refuses to speak English is insane. That is nuts to me. Like it's pretty much people were it's pretty much people who got here because they have relatives that live here, and those relatives that have been here are just housing are just housing other relatives. Fun fact: America has not federal does not have a federal official language. That sounds about right. So many Spanish speaking women, only women in my workplace. Yeah, that honestly sounds about right because solely because America kind of stopped caring about culture. Like before we would make. I think it's like before we would make things, and now we just import things. And now like America's just the world's piggy bank. In Miami, I navigate around the city better in Spanish than in English. Yeah. 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 I think it's because like there's just America. Yeah, America doesn't has kind of given up on culture, on and like an American culture. So everybody just has enclaves now. We just have enclaves. But yeah, yeah, it is interesting, very interesting. Like my honestly, my kind of reminds me of how my interest of travel have kind of died down, and now I don't really care that much about going places. When America gave up on manufacturing, gave it to China for lower prices, it stopped creating and stopped being a nation to become the world's largest economic zone. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's really funny hearing for I remember for a long time, like back when like Trump was running for president, black people's concern was that Trump was gonna put us in chains again. He was gonna bring back slavery, and even when I was hearing that for the first time, I was like, no. I was like, no, no, no. That's literally that literally cannot ever happen. Like, but lo and behold, they brought back slavery, but not for black people. Well, we are in a different kind of. Hey, we they just brought in another slavery. Got wage slavery where we don't own anything anymore, and another form of legal slavery, which is in which is in the form of H-1Bs, which is pretty interesting. We are a service-based economy. We are in a slave-based economy. That's we, we are. Man, thanks Obama. Yeah, but the only culture that we kind of have today is consuming. We consume. That's the American culture. Enslaving black people uh, only is racist, so we created colorblind slavery. Yeah, colorblind slavery within like renting out literally everything. That's one form. Then you have the voluntary. Then you have the slavery of the incarcerated. That's another form. Then you have the slavery of the willing. I think the slavery that we see. I'm not talking about jobs. I'm just talking about being on the constant rat race to afford to live. It's kind of it is kind of crazy. Anyway, Lewis says I have to rewatch the Common Ken feature video. What was the most of the matter? Wait, what was the meat of the matter? LOL. Anything you thought about after? Wait, what? Wait. You mentioned Comic Con again, didn't you? I have to rewatch the Comic Con feature video. What was the meat of the matter? Wait, what are you talking about, the meat of the matter? What was, wait. Yeah. Ken was talking about using, manga to learn Japanese, right? You don't own your house, nor your phone, nor your physical game. What were y'all discussing? Oh yeah, we were just discussing, uh, the usual death of monoculture, slavery, da 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 da. And now we don't own anything. Yeah, no house, no phone, no physical game. Yo, that reminds me. I just finished watching a video. It was a snippet of a Linux tech tip saying that Microsoft is ramping up the surveillance on anybody who uses Windows. I think it was they can now track where you are if you sign into like a Microsoft account on a different PC or something. It's pretty much like linking your IP like everywhere you go. A more targeted IP address, which is Big Brother, huh? Microsoft, yeah. Wage slaves, wage slavery in Sony. I feel like the Young Wavy podcast would be the most interesting because he is naive. I'll go to Japan and make it phase, similar to you in early 2020, in 2021. I feel like a jump in time. Okay, so the difference between me is like I was strictly no gods, no masters, especially in Japan. I'd say he's different because he still believes in the masters of Japan. Claim it is to protect you from getting hacked. Ah, yes. They gotta expose your privacy before somebody else takes it. It's like when you roast yourself so nobody else can roast you. That's the Microsoft way. We still need a discussion between you two. Privacy, what's that? Yeah, man. Yeah. Nope. Not anymore. Reminds me of how, like, didn't Japan pass a rule that mangakas cannot be anonymous anymore? I remember that was happening. I know Young Wavy knows I exist because I remember him following me like years ago, back when I was doing Strong Solo. Let's see. Yeah, I might shoot him an email. I mean, I don't know what I would talk about with him. Like him showing his goals. I really don't want to be. I think one thing that I really don't want to do is be his coffee comics. You know what I mean? Like, well, he already has a coffee comics. Like, I don't want him to tell me his dreams, and I don't want to tell him that yo, it's kind of it's rough out there, buddy. It's rough out there, brother. I don't want to be a. I feel like he would hard disagree with you on most subjects relating to the reality of comics. Like, what are some of his positions? I know he's like, okay, you say he's like very naive. I see that he's doing. Yeah, I know. Like, we would absolutely disagree. But what would be the end goal? That's like that. That's my main thing. What would be the end goal? I like talking to people that are very similar to me because I feel like we could. It's more like an iron sharpens iron situation. So we can help each other. At least we have that same idea that we can just hone each other's thoughts to be sharper. Because that's why I liked doing the podcast with a Ken, because I felt like we were similar enough that we could sharpen each other's wit, because we already have a very similar. We are kind of in similar mind processes, or similar. We have a similar mind state. But if I go in with a guy if I talk to somebody who probably would is naive and fully disagree with my worldview, then I'm like, where is the starting point? That would make an interesting podcast full of clip farms. Mason has a real world view on this industry. Well, I guess I say respect. He will give you hope, and you will give him a hopeful perspective, a realistic perspective. You're gonna make me sound like coffee, Doug. Like that's not what I want to do. Like that's not what I want to do. Because I don't want to be the guy that to talk to a guy that has a dream, that wants to go to Japan and wants to make everything work, right? Like, I don't want to tell him, dude, sit down. Like, you can't do this. I heard one person who became a manga assistant for Prince of Tennis, but it was through her school. Yeah, like I feel like maybe he knows something that I don't. They like maybe I like here's the thing. I'm like, maybe he knows something that I don't, that makes him feel more supercharged about going to Japan. And even if I knew that, I probably wouldn't like go out there, because I don't want to follow within that framework. You are literally coffee comics 6 years younger, but less jaded because you are in the first world America. Yeah. Yeah. Like, Wavy is trying to remake the earlier Image Comics model, while you seem to be more of a mad scientist, testing, copying, and learning, ad farming data, etc. Yeah. Like, the reason why I'm doing the mad scientist thing is because I've been listening to the history. Like, I listen to the history of how much it takes for a image comic to work, and what Todd McFarlane had to do, like Todd McFarlane had to do to make it work. because for the majority of comics history, comics is just not profitable. Making the comic books are just not profitable. He had to go into other avenues and tried so hard to on different marketing tactics to get people to have image in their mouths, you know? Like maybe I haven't seen enough of young wavy comics because maybe I haven't seen enough of his stuff to make me feel like yo, I gotta talk to this guy just to pick his brain a little bit. And also, no, I'm not. Also, I'm not a Coffee Comics at all because Coffee Comics he's able to he has the will to just trash on people and gain a following to do that, to give them money on Patreon. I don't even have that, so maybe yeah, maybe my Chemical X is being jaded. Maybe my Chemical X is constantly hating on other people that are similar to me, so I can gain a following of people that want me to go after people who are substantially smaller. Maybe that's my Chemical X. But I don't care that much because I don't think YouTube is the thing. Because I like my motto. Yeah, I say mad scientist is a really good explanation because I don't see the comic model of your working in the modern day. Like I think it would be more interesting to like have for what's his for young wavy to have a podcast with somebody that is like-minded with him. I would listen to that in a heartbeat. Like iron sharpening iron. I don't want to like conversate with somebody that functions off of a completely different perspective of this of what to do. Even though like I know on the surface people would say, "Oh man, you guys could like learn from each other." Like, sure, maybe I'll send them out. I'll send them an email. Sure, maybe. Da 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 da. You know what? I'll do it right now. Let me check. Submit. I am not a robot. He doesn't even have an Instagram, which makes this a little bit difficult. Come on, I'm not a robot. Come on, CAPTCHA. Show me the goods, CAPTCHA. Anyway, you do have contesting approach to your success that you clearly have an archive conversation with comic that you will clearly have an active conversation with Kim. It seems like you were passively agreeing on everything. Follow the money and where is it in comic sales, toys, games, cartoons, where it is. I mean, Coffee live in a jungle mindset where he has to be a predator and attack to feed himself. Oh yeah. Is that what he said, or is that what you understood? Oh yeah, there we go. Come on. Let me just. All right, let me go on Gmail. Oh, I should get my part today. Yeah, it's not coming in. I got scammed. Good old, to good old eBay. My own interpretation. Okay. like I said, from what I hmm. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Subject. All right, let me go to. Let me ask him. Let's call it a podcast invitation. Hey, wait. I remember years ago I asked him to be on Drawing Solo, but he didn't go on. I remember when he was on Instagram, I asked if he wanted to be on Drawing Solo, and he didn't respond. Maybe, maybe there'll be another. Maybe this will be a another instance. I'm sure he changed because he was like pretty close with Coffee, and since he's fallen out with him, he probably would be open. Okay. I watched some of your videos on YouTube, and I wanted to know if you'd like to co-host on a live stream in the future. I'll add, I hope you're doing well. Best Mason. There we go. All right, sent. I'm not expecting nothing. But you know what? Like I said, you know me, when I say I do something, I do it. No cap. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know what the turnaround time is. He still has Insta. What's his in? Well, he doesn't put it on his freaking YouTube. Quiet you. What's his Insta? Young Wavy. I don't know. I'm just gonna wait for you. Well, I think it's like a pretty good thing that he kind of had a falling out with Coffee because from what I've heard from Seven's October is that that kind of era, like that kind of scene, was pretty clicky. And I mean, Young Wavy also confirmed it as well. artist. Okay. Is this him? Yep, found him. There we go. Now, where was the last time? May 15th. Okay, so this is pretty recent. I'll send him a message. Okay, hey, I just found out you had an Insta, but just in case you missed the email, I'd like to invite you to a live podcast in the future. And discuss. He calls himself he calls his stuff discuss say business behind tactics to make American manga thrive. Hey, I just found. Okay, so I said, hey, I just found out that you had an Insta, but in case you missed the email, I'd like to invite you to a live podcast in the future and discuss tactics to make American manga thrive. Bam. There we go. Hope you're happy. Hope you're happy, G4. But you got 1 for 1 so far. Let's see if you'll go 2 for 2. His fall off with coffee was so out of the blue. Like, for everything bad coffee has done, this is what you guys beef over. Wait, what was they? Not gonna lie, the mic was pretty bad. What were they? I tried to pay attention, but what was the beef over? Let me see. I'm not pronouncing that. I represent American manga, aka Mana, science fiction specialist, author of Holy Ark and Guardian Reborn, and his imprints. It's right here. Okay. No, like what was they falling off because coffee just was telling him not to interact with certain people or something like that? They beefed over who could or couldn't be featured as a mono artist. I think that's so gay. Like, oh my gosh. But hey, whatever. It's like, no, I gotta be the head. No, I'll be the head. Whatever. I don't know. Whatever. Whatever. It's like, it's so. You know what? I'm not in it. You know what? I'm not in it. I'm not in it. You know what? Maybe I'd be. Maybe I do the same thing. Maybe I'm. Maybe I do the same thing. I don't know. I'm not. I'm not gonna judge. I'm not gonna judge. I reserve judgment. Basically, someone who's ghosted them at the start of their partnership between Young Wavy Comics and Unsura Go came back and was like, manga is dead. We have to start selling merch to be profitable. And Young Wavy Comics started inviting artists that Coffee didn't like in their collaboration manga magazine, and Coffee chimped out. Okay. So yeah, okay. So basically, young Mana is mine. Stop using the term bitch ass nigga coffee comics. That's so gay. Oh my god. Well, yo, coffee. He really is being the Ethan Van Sciver for like for like indie comics, indie manga. That's so funny. Bro out here being the African Ethan Van Sciver. Good for him. Good for him. No, it's mine. Yeah, Comics Gate. Like, I'm like, what is this? Comics Gate and a with a way less way less stakes. Like, what are we do? What are you doing, dude? Like, it's not that serious. Whatever you think you're doing, it's not that serious. I'm so that's unfortunate. Hey, I mean, I was never really a big fan of the whole term mono term, but hey, I'm an outsider. I'm an outsider. I'm an outsider. So those maybe you I gotta be inside the club. Maybe I have to be inside the club to get it. I'll concede that I might have to be inside the club to get it. Wavy started a mono magazine that featured coffee, and they just disagreed about the money model. Okay, okay. From an outsider point of view, okay, yeah, I read that. My thing is just make your own term if you don't believe in it. Just make your own term if you don't believe in it or like the person who make it. Amazon model physical. Oh wait, Amazon model of physicals versus seeing USB cartridges with a mono within it. Dude, I was thinking about doing something like that, but yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I know people still do that with eBay. They would put things in floppy disks and sell them. That's what I've that's what I've heard. I don't know what that's like that's the weird thing. That's the weird thing, but why use the USB when you can like why use the USB when you can just does it cost less to manufacture a USB than to print a book? I mean, I was thinking about what's the use of a USB, but like when you have a USB, you not only get you not only get the content within the USB, but you also get a free USB. You know what I mean? So that's a double whammy. I like that a lot. Um, but if it's gonna be digital, then why can't they just download the PDF on the internet? Like me, I love like physical media is cool. I love the concept of physical media. Absolutely, 110%. Now Coffee gave up the Mana name and it's making it somewhere else, something else. I guess is going to be something in Latin. Yeah. Ansulo Gold had 3D printed USBs going for 25, 30 up to $70 as a collector's item. When I see this, all I see is them imitating what I was like this. Okay, I was like this too when I was younger. All I see is just imitating what worked without understanding why it worked. It's like seeing a gymnast do a backflip, and you can understand the concept of a backflip, but you can't do it unless you know what to do. You're not gonna do it well unless you know how to do it. It's not gonna work. I like every time I see somebody try to do something like this in entrepreneurship, it goes down to something like that. It's imitating someone who can do a backflip without understanding how to do it. Like, you can understand the concept of doing a backflip, but it's not the same. Yeah, Gatekeeping Comic Collective. I'm glad Masonymous, thanks to his recluse self, was exempt from all of this drama. You know why? Like, I told you why that I'm such a recluse. Like, I was actually burned out by people I called my friend on from the internet. Now I'm like, okay, I don't. And not only that, I know I can make what I can make without the help of an internet collective. If I'm going to bring someone on, I better like them, like Comic. I know I keep clowning on Comic Ken, but I really like that guy. And Seven's October, by Saintly, by Under God. Like, every time I invoke their names, I gotta say by Saintly or by Under God. Like, that's how much I like them. Wait. Give me a second. Where did I put it? I know I have it around here. Darn. Okay, I know I have it around here, but I just don't. I was gonna show off on the first volume of Under God and just say buy it, but I gotta buy it now. I feel like I gotta buy Saintly now, so I can tell people to buy Saintly. October 7th. Yeah, cool guys. Yeah, I gotta freaking Comic Ken and who else? October 7th. I keep saying 7's October. October 7's. The author of Under God. Really cool guys. Oh yeah, I notice you tend to gravitate and befriend people that live without creating drama. No, I gravitate towards people. I gravitate towards people who are full of drama because I liked Coffee Comics. It's just that they don't like me. Like, I think I have a certain aura that that like people who just tend to not like me will just not have anything to do with me. That's just it. Like, it's not like it's not that I don't communicate with them. They just don't communicate with me. Like, that's it. That's it. Like, I remember when the first time I was talking to Coffee, I know, like, when I told him that I was making 4 comics at the same time, he had disdain. I was like, I heard the disdain in his voice. He was like, that's stupid. Focus on one thing, kid. And I was like, brother, actually, you're not a brother to me. You're like, I'm like, listen, Jungle Man, you don't know my limits. You don't know my limits, Jungle Man. Chill. He felt disgusted by you for some reason. Because I shine. I shine when a when a nigga has eloquence, when a nigga has a belief in himself, when a nigga can shine. That's when the people of the night, the people of disgust, the jungle niggas. That's when they hide. No, I have nothing against them. No. Yeah, anyway. I thought you were nuts for Comics 2 LL, but you explained your process, and that's why. And, and why well, LOL. Yeah, it's pretty much an ADHD type, uh, instance, type thing. Well, I don't really have ADHD. I just lose interest on things that I work on for too long, and it keeps my mind fresh to try different things. It allows me to try different things, and I understand why. I understand why people are like adverse to it. It's a good practice. Battling boredom, yeah, it's a good practice. Yeah, and plus, I have no reason to be tied down to one series, honestly. Because right now, I think everybody within this sphere, they can do the exact same thing because nobody has that audience. Nobody really has an audience that's really bickering for the next comics because comics is not. We're all We're all people on the internet. We don't make money from comics. We make money for being like personalities on the internet. So let's get that idea out of our head right now. Like let's get that idea out of our head right now. We're not mangakas. We're just niggas on the internet. Like we're just niggas on the internet that happen to make manga, and our niche just happens to be the least profitable niche that you can get in on the internet. You know, we all are united by being hyper interested in a niche that just makes no money. Like we're all we can all come together and say we're all broke niggas. It's okay. I'll be the first. We're all broke. Like if we all came together when it comes to how much we make monthly by our comics, we would all finally add up to a single penny. It's okay. It's okay. Come out from under the sheets. Nah, but I'm just having fun. I'm just having fun. It's like no one, true. No one's that big. We're all broke. LOL. You know, wait. What was that Kanye? What was that Kanye West song from late? What was it? Late registration. Oh wait. It's like the. It's like that. The interludes. Oh my gosh. All the skit. Oh man. Years. Years ago. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like our lives are basically the skits in Kanye in the late registration by Kanye West. Yeah, da da da, trying to get by. It's fine. It's fine. And also, yeah, freaking. And also, I feel like I can do this. I can write on several different projects because I believe I have the philosophy that allows me to compartmentalize what I want to do with each project. So doing something like this is pretty much not an issue for me. Because like I don't think because I don't because what I talk about in wait, should this be in or out? I think it should be out. Because what I talk about in Purgatory Academy will not be the same thing that I talk about in Just a Reaper or Let's Go Metal Hero or Chimera Island. They all they all function in different parts of my mind on different topics that I want to talk that I find interesting. And not only that, it helps me think about different things. It helps me like focus on different aspects of the human condition or what I want to talk about. Someone like Brendan Chan does multiple projects as well, just as a writer though. Man, I'd probably get way more done if I was just a writer. So like doing things because like I don't have an audience yet, it's like it's a non-issue. It's a non-issue. Besides, the fact that I have a finished book and it's written like a cover to cover thing. I think my biggest mistake of is making book 2 so dependent on book 1. Not one person. Neil and Sean are beefing. Who are those guys? I think my biggest mistake is making book 2 so dependent on book. Well, book 2 is literally just a continuation, and that continuation is what I really wanted to get into. The main gameplay loop, as so to speak, with Purgatory Academy, because I want Purgatory Academy to be more formulaic in terms of writing. So I won't, and like when I get formulaic, then I can feel comfortable with experimenting a little bit more. But when I mean, well, I guess when I mean formulaic, it's like you have the introduction to the topic, then you have the initial conflict, the purgatory ideas. Then wait, I written it up on here, didn't I? Yeah. The loop of Purgatory Academy, introduction to premise, the playground of ideas, and character response. Yeah, the introduction of the introduction. It can like I think every Purgatory Academy after this book, I want to break it down into 3 main chunks: introduction to the idea, the playground of ideas to further exemplify that idea, and then the character reflecting on the idea. And that would just probably aid into going into a character arc. I can feed a character arc within that, so the characters will learn off of what they did in the past. And as long as I have that character loop, that's something that the audience can instinctually get the pattern of, and I can play with that a little bit in the sense of what I talk about or how I talk about it. But that structure keeps things ordered. But that's what Purgatory Academy specifically. So Kisho Tenketsu? No, I want to do Kisho Tenketsu with Chimera Island because because it follows 4 characters, and I feel like 4 characters would follow that 4-part structure easily. With Purgatory Academy, I follow a lot of mostly Western style story structure. Well, like the most basic story structure, especially with book 1, because with book 1 it was your typical introduction, rising action, climax, falling action, then resolution. That 5-part story structure, easy, and that's like perfect if you're just trying to start out, because that's what if you're born in the West, and if you're born in the West, that's your introduction to story structure, so you know it like at the back of your hand. So I feel like it would be foolish of me to do something like Kisho Tenketsu, because I don't, like I said in the interview, I couldn't do that because I haven't I didn't grow up with Japanese media, manga or anime. Well, I would say enough Japanese media to internalize the Kisho Tenketsu story structure. I feel like with Western structures, I can internalize it a little bit better because that's where uh, that's what I've been exposed to for the majority of my life. Our communities in general are filled with drama because it's filled with emotional people who are bad with money. Yeah, true that. I mean, I wouldn't say like they're bad with money. I think it's everybody. I think it's because you have a lot of people that are within the passions within who are artisans. I guess it's also funny because I believe they mentioned this in Plato's Republic as well. When you have artists are tend to be within their feelings. So you have people within who are pretty much in their feelings 24/7. They are paid to be within their feelings, doing something that's very like cold and emotionless, and cold and like void of emotion, like being a manager or dealing with money. So you tend to have people who want to stay within the spotlight, who want to be in the spotlight all the time, and and who are focused with the idea of being the face of the face of a movement or the face of something. Oh, wrong one. It's nice to observe and learn and what to avoid and get inspiration from characters. Terrible with business and customer service. Yeah. I mean, it just reminds me when I had a lot of arguments. Well, not a lot. When I had arguments with Matt, and the best way I would get over those arguments with him is just being patient. Like that's the best thing I can say. Like, yeah, just be patient with people. And sometimes people are just unworkable. Where do you see yourself in 2030? I don't. That's too dark. I can't say that. That's dark. I didn't mean it like that. No, God forbid. Knock on wood. I see myself. Well, actually, I don't really think about those questions all too much. I think about what can I do right now, and what can I do right now, and if I can work on something that works, and I stick to that. I don't mean it like that. I don't mean it like that, right? I don't mean it like that. When people say, "What do you see yourself in X amount of years?" Let me tell you that I was thinking about that like back in 2020. And if I told you what I like how I saw myself in 2027, it wouldn't be like this. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna be real with you. So I just stopped putting up those expectations because I don't want to be disappointed anymore. So what I'm going to do instead is say what works right now. What works right now? Let's see if I can min max what works right now, and I don't think about where I will be in the future if I focus on what is working, what works. Completing one of your comic series. I'm not completing any. Well, I mean, dude, like, come on, like the comic series that would be like the closest to completion would be Metal Hero because that's just a three-parter, and but at a certain point it really go. But at a certain point, if it goes really bad, you can take up a 9 to 5 or not. We'll see. We'll see. Nothing's impossible. but we'll see. Yeah, where am I? Where do I see myself in like in like 2030? Yeah, working at McDonald's, trying to make ends meet, couch surfing from friend to friend. Like, come on now, come on now. like, like I said, I tried those thought experiments. I tried those manifestations, 7 years ago. Didn't turn out that way. Things don't turn out that way. My direction hasn't changed. Like if I give up on a making comics, if I give up on doing this, then I don't even know like what I would be doing. Literally, I really wouldn't know, and plus I probably wouldn't care. That's how in the dark it is for me when it comes to that kind of thing. Like if I wasn't doing this, I literally wouldn't care, because that's like when I say I wouldn't care, I'm like pure nihilism. Like I wouldn't care. I wonder how Mark Corelli penned his book details. We are already in the later held of the decade. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. So that's why I don't hope max anymore. At a while, when you hope max so much, you get delusional. And when you are too high on hope, you just try a little bit of everything, and then you just get tired, and then you just tucker yourself out. And that era of my life is kind of over. I try to do my stuff. I try to do my best. I try to make YouTube work, but oh well. Oh well. And like literally, I just want to make enough. I just want to make ends meet with comics. That's it. I'm not trying to be out here being a millionaire. I'm not out here trying to be a millionaire. I'm just trying to earn money doing comics. You will start seeing financial success before the end of 2029, hopefully. Yes, more of that. More of that. Don't not no more of where do you see yourself, more of you will experience that. That's more helpful to me. Like just like when I tell my say like what I'm doing with my cousins, and they'll say, well, you'll figure it out. That's way more helpful. That's way more helpful to me. Even though they don't help me in saying you should do X, Y, and Z, just by them saying you will figure it out, that is helpful to me. I'm like, oh, they believe in me. Even though those words might be hollow, it doesn't matter. It rings in my soul. It rings in my soul that, as far as I know, they believe that I can do it. So no more of where do you see yourself? I'm like, where do you see me? Like, come on. Because I remember I remember when I was like streaming a lot years ago, and getting like a bunch of YouTube Shorts kids going on my live streams. They said that it was inevitable for me to be like the next million subscriber YouTuber, but you know that didn't work out. Yeah, you need to forget about the what could have been. Yeah, like I don't really. I'm mostly focused on what can I do now, and how can I make that work. And then when I make it, I can give out advice to people and say, yeah, of course you can say that because you've made it. I'll be like, yeah, I guess I can, and then I will no longer help anybody. It'll go on deaf ears, just like today. Nah, but you guys listen. Yeah, but also I think it's another reason why I'm against. I'm not even within the realm of drama is because I believe I can. Like I said, I don't need to be around other people to do what I need to do. And when I see drama happen like that, I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a blessing. But I'm sure when it happens to other people's benefit, I'm like, dang, if only I was more social. Hold on, let me check Instagram. Nope. Nah, we'll see. We'll see if he responds. But anyway, it's 8 o'clock. It's time to stop doing this. Most cartoonists were still struggling in their 30s, so you're not an anomaly. Yeah, that's the thing. And that's why I'm like, it's not crazy. Like, we're not crazy for being in the predicament that we are in when it comes to making art on the internet. Yeah, sometimes we just need to break the mold and be a mad scientist. Anyway, see ya. Peace. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Lewis, G4, Lamai. I don't think F in the chat's here anymore, but him too. Anyway, y'all take care.